Good afternoon, and welcome to Man Cave Meditations. So, we're now on the second day, the day after Liberation Day, Liquidation Day, whatever you want to call it. The U.S. stock market has shed. I mean, the Dow's got to be close to 10%. I don't know about the S&P and the Nasdaq. I'm not sure what the other indexes have lost, but I mean, it's just, when you put a blanket percentage of tariffs on the world, and then make some crazy mathematical calculation to calculate the other tariffs, and it's just like a bunch of kids with, oh God, it's just like, if you think of the United States of America as this big complex thing, this machine, and these kids just run, these 4-year-olds are running around like pulling stuff out of it, throwing this, throwing that, just ripping the thing apart from within. Where does this wire go? Well, let's find out. Oh, that was education. Well, where does this one go? Oh, that was Meals on Wheels. Just, again, just like kids, like just not even knowing what they're doing. Or somehow, I truly believe he thinks in his mind, in his fantasy fucking land, that this is a good idea. He just told himself enough times, and all the sycophants around him have supported these harebrained ideas because they like being close to power, they like the money, they like him, they like hanging around Mar-a-Lago, whatever it is, they like it. So it's a great idea. Yeah, tariff the world. 10%. Great idea, sir. Thank you, sir. Can I have another? Harder this time. Not that hard. Oh, okay. Well, if you want to hit me that hard, okay. And it's just the idiots and the clowns and the circus. It's a circus. It's just, there's no way, like the first term, it was a supervised circus. It was a supervised circus. This is completely unsupervised. The nursery school teacher walks out for hours. What do you think would happen? If 30 minutes of leaving 24-year-olds in a room together, what do you think they're going to do? Sit quietly and read a book? Well, they can't read it at 4 years old. But, play with themselves? No, it's going to be chaos. Unsupervised chaos. That's what we have. We gave a child, we the people, voted in a 4-year-old. For the second time, mind you. First time we couldn't learn our lesson. Right? And so for the second time, we voted in this absolute and complete catastrophe of a human being. There's somebody who shouldn't be in charge of a hot dog stand. That's who we voted in for the second time. For the second time, we voted him in. After seeing what happened the first time. And you have this whole media, arm of the media, Fox News, that aligned itself with him It's like one cancer on top of another cancer that just grew and just basically took over half the country. You know, at least 1/3, and then there was, everybody else that just, went along for the ride. The wave, the big Trump red wave, make America great, right? And then everybody who stayed home. That didn't help. Yeah, might have lost anyway. We'll never know. And so now, on the verge of, us, in this first, 80 days of a presidency, I could list all the negatives for tanking the economy, destroying our old alliances, all that, just, there's no going back. There's no turning this around. Like, there'll be the potential for these things in the future, yes. But it's not like, oh, I'm not doing the tariffs now. No, that's done. That was first term. Well, that was like a few days ago. You called it off, Now it's over. We broke it. They broke it. They broke it. It may be rebuilt at some point into something different, but what was can no longer be. Not with just like a turnaround. No, you broke it. So if that's what you wanted to do, congratulations, you broke it. Right? And as you have, the founders came up with the 3 branches of government. Judicial holds, it's however it can hold until it gets up to the Supreme Court, and then they reaffirm the immunity decision. Pricks. But their back's against the wall too. The Supreme Court. But, minus them, the judicial is going to be the judicial. It's going to do what it's going to do. And I feel it's towing the line to a degree, but it's the legislative, and what I see happening from all this is that the American people are going to, like this awakened mass, because it's there, and like 80 years ago, World War II, it woke up. It was sleeping, it woke up. Bubby, it woke up. What, you bombed us? To Japan and Pearl Harbor, and then it was, and we know how to stand. And I feel this is just going to make us stand. And I'm not just talking about the stock market. I'm not talking about, but as these things, the rising collective, individual and collective energy of the American people is what is going to drive change. And what I see happening from this, if you take the Republican Congress, House of Representatives, Senators, up to this point, the people, that vote them in, have loved Trump, have loved MAGA, get the immigrants out and all that shit, right? So they've been, anyone with any kind of a conscience that's not completely about self-survival has been caught in a vice. I can either, lose my seat or play along with the clown car show. But now I feel with all the, based upon the actions of the king, the people are going to turn against the tyrant. And they're going to demand, not all, but enough. They will demand that the individual, he or she, who represents them within the United States Congress, heed their call, be a mouthpiece for them. And so I see the energy shifting from, I must be allegiance. I must, in order to keep my job and my position and everything, I must be allegiant to Trump because that's what the people want, as opposed to I must fight Trump because that's what the people want. And the people vote me in. And as he gets weaker with all of this, I see that energy shift. And so, when they realize that their own self-survival, because the self-survival aspect doesn't change, it's just that my self-survival now is going to depend upon me acting upon the behalf of my constituents the way it should have always been. And they're going to demand change, because this fucking sucks right now. They're going to demand change. And however long that demand takes, as these tariffs and all this shit just starts coming, as this locomotive that's the U.S. economy just starts to get fucking hit this and hit that and slows down, comes into roadblocks, go into a recession. Hopefully, nothing more than that. I'm not trying to will it to be. But there's going to be pain. This is going to be pain. Self-inflicted pain. And I feel that the people I feel and pray that the people will shift their allegiance from the king, the movement, to change this isn't working. And when that happens, impeachment could be a possibility. I could see that. True impeachment this time. That he doesn't make it through his full term. That's how severe the backlash could be from what's going on right now. Because the kids who are ripping the machine apart, they're like getting more and more frenzied. Like berserker. Like you get yourself more and more worked up. Like, oh, we could do this. Oh, now we could do this. Oh, we could send people over there to El Salvador and just grab them off the street. We'll start grabbing other people. Right? Let's fuck up the economy even more. Right? The signal gate. Like all this fucking shit. All of it. Absolute and complete chaotic madness. And then once the reality TV show that you thought you were watching becomes reality, I lost my job, right? Maybe my wife took a pay cut too. Go to the store to buy a gallon of milk, costs fucking $5, $100 worth of groceries, 6 months ago, now costs almost $200. This could get old quick. And the people who are right there, they'll start, they're not going to be able to pay their rent. It's going there. The reality TV show is becoming reality. Right? He doesn't think it's reality. He's just in his own fairy tale world. And everybody around him, like, barnacles on the back of the whale, along for the ride. Government pays my salary, I'm good. Stephen Miller, I'm good. Right? I charge the American taxpayer $50 million to make, a few round trips to El Salvador in cargo planes. And, not only am I praised for it, for acting out my maniacal intention, but I make a good salary and the inmates have taken over the asylum. It's absolute chaos. So, again, to end it, what I feel is that the people will, as this hits home, they're going to shift. It's already hitting them. They're going to shift there. Again, all the Republican senators and congresswomen are all about self-survival. And that will not change. But now they're going to realize that their self-survival means, go against the Mad King. So what I'm going to be looking for, I already saw like the 4 senators or whatever that switch sides to vote against just Canada tariffs. That's just like, that's one hole in the dam. And there's going to be other ones. There will be other ones. So again, Spoken too much. My heart is with everyone during these dark days, and just we will get through this. We will get through this. All right. God bless.